Hello 108 students, Mr. McHugh here, back with you on section 3.1, and we're going to focus on page 3, and we're going to pick up the other part of last objective and deal with what happens if you're graphing a line and it's got the x term and the y term is set equal to 0, meaning the c term is set equal to 0. Okay, now if you can remember this when you see this when it's unusual that it's a 0 on the right hand side, you definitely could take the shortcut, but I'm going to pretend that we don't know the shortcut yet here, and I want to prove to you why we could say that this is going to go through the origin. Okay, now how do we know that? Based on our last examples, I would find the x and y intercepts. I would let x equals 0, substitute it into the equation, and come up with what? 2y equals 0, solve for y equals 0. That ordered pair was 0, 0. Okay, come up here. Let's let y, what did I find? Well, I thought I found the y-intercept, but it went through the origin. Okay, now you're going to choose to find the x-intercept. Let y equals 0. Plug it back into the equation. If you put 0 in for y, what do you get? 4 plus 2 times 0 equals 0. You get, wait a second. Excuse me, that's an x. This is x, I apologize. And so now you've got x plus 0 equals 0, x equals 0. So when y coordinate was 0, the x coordinate was 0, and again you came up with the ordered pair 0, 0. Okay, well that sits right here. 2 points determine a line, but if it's the exact same point, not going to do you any good. What do? Very simple. You choose any value you want to pick for x. I happen to pick x equals 4 for this problem. Substitute it in. Put a 4 in for x, and now what will I find out for y? Well, when I put a 4 in, I've got a minus 4 on both sides. 0 minus 4 equal to 2y. Divide by 2 on both sides, and I get y equals negative 2. Remember, that's the y coordinate equals negative 2. I put that in for the y coordinate. I chose the x coordinate to be 4, and now I've got my second point at 4, negative 2, and now I could draw my line. Okay, you could pick any value that you want for x. Pick something reasonable, don't go crazy. Somewhere between, I would choose something, the x between 1 and 5 would be my recommendation. Okay, just a little recommendation there. So let's turn around here and let's cover objective 7. And this is the last objective for this section, 3.2. And they're asking you to find the midpoint. Okay, midpoint means the halfway point between two lines. Okay, now when you think of half of something, I want you to think of finding the average for the x coordinate and the y coordinates. Now you can write these formulas down on your reference sheet, that's okay. I'm going to ask you to just try to get my big philosophy of teaching and helping students learn is not to be memorizing all these formulas, but to memorize and learn the English translation of them, because that's what your brain's going to remember. Okay, x's and y's and z's, you're going to mix them all up, and a's and b's and c's. I call it lawyerese writing. You want to get away from that. You want to think of the midpoint being the average of the x coordinate and the average of the y coordinate. Notice this is an ordered pair. Okay, so if I turn around and give you example 6, and they give you ordered pairs, 4, negative 3, 6, negative 1. Notice I stacked them. I like this technique. The book doesn't necessarily emphasize that, but stack them, because now you could turn around, and how do you find the average? What do? You add them up. When you find the average of something, what do? You add up the numbers, and then you divide by that number of numbers. Everybody kind of hopefully remembers what an average is. Okay, so now you turn around and add up the x coordinates. 4 plus 6, there you go. I didn't even write x1 plus x2 divided by 2. You can do that. You can assign the values. You can notice here I said x1, and by the way, x sub 1 is a subscript notation. It is not anything to do with exponents. It's a variable name. X sub 1 is equal to 4, y sub 1 is equal to negative 3, x sub 2 I assigned it a value of 6, y sub 2 would be a value of negative 1. You could substitute these in by that, or you could turn around and try my technique of saying add up the x coordinates, divide by 2. Add up the y coordinates, -3 plus -1, and divide by 2. Okay, if you get midpoint is an ordered pair, so there's your parentheses, there's your comma, what do you get? 10 divided by 2, watch this, -3 plus a -1 is what? -4 divided by 2, work out the arithmetic, 5 comma -2, and you got it. Okay, if you took the time and plotted these, let's see, oh boy, sorry, my writing's not too good. 1, 2, 3, 4, -3, 1, 2, 3. This would be about right here. 4, 5, 6. Here's 4. Here's 6. It'd be right here. If you looked at this, it'd say here's a line. What's the halfway point? 5 comma -2 would be about right here. And that. Sorry, my graph isn't as good as I'd like it to be, but try that on your own clean paper with a ruler or graph paper, and you'll see that halfway on the x coordinate and a halfway in the y coordinate will work for you. Okay, hey, guess what? We've wrapped up page 3. We've wrapped up section 3.1. So I'm going to say adios, and I will see you for section 3.2. Okay, take care. Bye.